Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports, college basketball picks and predictions for Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, previous stage results. We are currently 3-1. Bringing our season record to 447 and 418. Granted, we have one game left outstanding. It is Cleveland State minus 1.5 versus Youngstown State. At the time of me recording this video, it is 22-21 at halftime. This might be the grossest basketball game I've watched all season. The teams are a combined 14 of 50 from the field and 8 of 19 from the free throw line. So, couldn't really get any worse in terms of basketball. Hopefully, Cleveland State wins the game by 2 or more. So, I'm going to recap these games real quick, then we'll get on to the picks for tomorrow. Game number 1, Delaware, the 12 seed, goes and defeats Towson. Nobody saw this one coming. They win this game, final score 82-72, so our over 144.5 hits. This was looking really bad for the over, but then Towson was able to claw their way back, get it to 6 or 7 with about a minute left. They scored something like 22 points in the final minute and a half of this game. It was just free throws, run down the court, don't play defense, let them get a layup, foul, more free throws, and then that just kept on happening. So that is why you take overs right now. When there's close spreads, you take overs, because then there's going to be free throws towards the end of the game, so you hit your overs. We then had Robert Morris minus 1.5. We got lucky with this one. They beat Oakland 79-76 in overtime. They move on to the Horizon League Finals. They will either play Youngstown State or Cleveland State, depending on who wins that game. Finally, probably the game of the night, Wofford plus 1.5 against Furman. Wofford wins. They are going to the big dance, 92-85 over the Paladins. They got destroyed when you look at the real stats here. Lost the offensive rebound battle, lost the turnover battle. Doesn't matter, though, when you shoot it 54% from the field and 50% from deep. Thank you, Terriers. Our one complete stinker of the night was Idaho State plus 1.5. They got cattywampused by Montana State, 80-60. Now, I still predicted the game correctly in terms of how it would play out. Idaho State, 14 offensive rebounds. Montana State, 1 offensive rebound. And then they had even amount of turnovers. So Idaho State got off 14 more shot attempts. 14. They still lose by 20. Montana State, 64% from the field. You're not going to win many bets when the other team does that. Idaho State, 33% from the field, 22% from deep. Your season is done. All right, that's the recap. Hopefully Cleveland State wins. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. Game number 1, what is this? Cincinnati, Oklahoma State. I'm taking the Cowboys plus 6.5. I've been asking this question a lot this season. Why is Cincinnati laying so many points? Neither of these teams are very good. It's a neutral site game, Kansas City, Missouri. No one's fan base is going to actually show out for this. What is this line? Cincinnati, 17-14 on the year. They've lost 3 games in a row. Most recently, to Oklahoma State, then Kansas State and Houston. So that's right. They just played Oklahoma State 3 days ago. They lost by 11 points. They are now laying 6.5. They score 70 points a game, played a bottom 75 pace, shoot it 45% from the field. Their biggest problem, it's been their problem all year, they can't put the ball in the hoop. Their defense is solid. They have athletes. Just none of these guys can shoot a basketball. Oklahoma State, I'm not trying to make it sound like they're good. They are not. They're 15-16 on the year. They score 73 a game, played a top 50 pace. Very different styles of ball here. Neither team likes to shoot the 3 ball. We're going to see a lot of 2-pointers, a lot of free throws. I have not been understanding why Cincinnati's been getting so much respect all year. I'm going to continue to fade them. Give me Oklahoma State plus 6.5. Next game we are staying in the Big 12, Arizona State and Kansas State. I'm taking the over 142.5. Arizona State, they don't know what defense is. This game should be close. The spread is sitting at 3.5. Should be free throws at the end. So I like points. Arizona State 13-18 on the year. They average 74 points a game, played a top 100 pace. They make 9 threes a game. Their defense is ranked 260th in the country. This number has hit in 7 out of their last 8 games. Kansas State 15-16 on the year. They just lost at home, final game of the regular season, to Iowa State by 16. They score 72 points a game, played a bottom 150 pace, shoot at 44% from the field. In terms of rosters, Kansas State has one of the most expensive rosters in the country. I'm not sure that really plays out talent-wise, but if there was a team that could go on a late conference run, I think Kansas State would be the team. So I think both of these teams are going to be able to score. K-State should be able to put in 80+. So give me the over 142.5. Next game, we are off to the ACC conference tourney. Syracuse and Florida State. I'm going to take the Seminoles here, -2.5. I think they're the better roster. Syracuse kind of sucks. Syracuse 13-18 on the year, coming off of a 14-point home win against Virginia. They score 75 a game, played a top 150 pace, shoot at 46% from the field. They've already played Florida State this year. They lost by 16 points. That was a true road game in Tallahassee. They're struggling big time with shooting the basketball from range. Their defense is ranked 326 in the country. Florida State 17-14 on the year. They just beat SMU at home by 7 points. That is a much more impressive win than Virginia at home. They score 75 a game, played a top 75 pace, shoot at 46% from the field. Neutral site game taking place in Charlotte. I really don't think anyone's going to show up to watch this. Granted, Florida State probably has the more proud fan base when it comes to traveling. Syracuse sucks. Give me Florida State, -2.5. Next game, we're Siena takes on Rider in the MAAC conference tournament. Neither of these teams are very good at basketball. They both play pretty slow. I think the over is just too low here. Spread is at 3.5. I think we get some free throws at the end to hit this one going over. Siena 14-17 on the year. They just lost by 12 points to Manhattan on the road. They score 72 a game, played a bottom 150 pace. In their previous game against Rider, it ended at 120 points, which doesn't sound great, but the teams combined to go 6 of 27 from deep, and they shot at 66% from the free throw line. Round 2, season on the line. I don't think that we're going to see that happen again. Rider 13-18 on the year. They did end their season on a 3-game winning streak, though. They scored 83, 78, and 77 in those 3 games. They were horrible to start the year. I think they started to figure it out towards the end of the season. They started to put the ball in the hoop. So I like the points. Give me the over 136.5. Final game here. Then we're going to look at our leans. It is Fairfield and Sacred Heart. I am taking Sacred Heart minus the 2.5. These teams play 2 very different styles of basketball. This is another neutral court game. I'm going to give the edge to the team who can actually put the ball in the hoop. So give me Sacred Heart. Fairfield 12-19 on the year. They score just 68 points a game, played a bottom 100 pace, and shoot at 41% from the field. So they can't shoot, and they play at a very slow pace. That is not going to result in points. They're also horrible on the glass, ranked 278th in the country in rebounding, and their defense is even worse, 291st defensive rating in the country. All of this should tell you they suck at basketball. Sacred Heart 14-17 on the year. They score 76 points a game, play at a top 75 pace, shoot at 45% from the field, and they make 10 three-pointers a game. If their 3 ball is falling, this game is going to be a blowout. They have already played and beaten Fairfield twice this year. They beat them by 21 points at home and then 6 points on the road. This being a neutral site game, they're going to have no problem clapping cheeks once again. Give me Sacred Heart minus 2.5. I think they win pretty comfortably by double digits. All right, so my leans. TCU minus 1.5 against Colorado. Why are they only laying 1.5? I don't know. Southern Utah plus 3.5 against Utah Tech. Central Connecticut minus 9.5. I think they're going to win the MAAC tournament outright. Then Florida A&M and Prairie View, give me the over 144.5. All right, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.